published, 8:20 EDT, the 16th of May 2018, updated, 16:04 EDT, the 16th of May 2018. Meghan Markle's mother received the royal treatment today as she flew into Heathrow's ultra-luxurious VIP Windsor suite and had a police escort as she made her way to an emotional reunion with the bride-to-be. Doria Ragland, 61, landed in London on Wednesday afternoon following a nearly 11-hour flight from Los Angeles. The yoga instructor and social worker was given every perk of being a royal, as she was picked up at the steps of the aircraft by a Jaguar, which is part of the royal fleet, and driven to the private Windsor suite. Meghan's personal assistant Amy Pickerill greeted Doria with an immigration officer, who quickly stamped her passport, as a palisade was seen collecting Doria's baggage, including her Burberry wedding outfit. Doria was quickly whisked away from the airport and taken to see Meghan and Prince Harry before she will meet the Queen and her future royal in-laws, including Prince Charles, William, and Kate, for the first time. Doria's arrival comes as Meghan's half-sister Samantha issued a ruthless attack on her, and her father Thomas Markle announced he was having his heart surgery today after he was exposed for staging photos for money. Samantha astonishingly admitted this week that she was to blame for the paparazzi photos, as she insisted it was all for the benefit of the royal family, not to rake in cash before the wedding. Thomas, 73, flip-flopped on his decision to pull out of the wedding on Tuesday, saying he didn't want to miss being a part of history but said it depended on if doctors would clear his release from hospital. Still, his family members are refusing to rule out that Thomas won't be able to fly to the UK in time, as royal fans have taken to Twitter to call for Prince Charles to step in and walk Meghan down the aisle on Saturday. Thomas' nephew Tyler Dooley, 25, was seen in London today with his mother Tracy, after the two flew into the UK ahead of the wedding, although it isn't believed they were invited. Meghan Markle's mother Doria Ragland received the royal treatment today as she flew into Heathrow's VIP Windsor suite before an emotional reunion with her daughter. Pictured, Doria leaving her California house for London on Tuesday, left, and a palisade collected Doria's Burberry wedding outfit on Wednesday, right. After Doria got off the plane, she was driven to the VIP Windsor suite, where Amy Pickerill was waiting with an immigration officer. Meghan's personal assistant Amy Pickerill, who is believed to be holding Doria's passport, greeted the future royal's mother as a palisade collected her baggage, including her Burberry wedding outfit. The immigration officer reportedly took one look at Meghan's mother before stamping her passport and letting her go. Meanwhile, the Queen was honouring recipients of the Victoria and George Cross at reception at Buckingham Palace. The monarch welcomed the servicemen and women and their families to her home for a drinks reception. To help with the arrival of Meghan Markle's mother on Wednesday, two of the royals' very best have been drafted in to assist in the run-up to the big day. Amy Pickerill, 32, Meghan's girl, Friday stood outside the Windsor suite at Heathrow Airport today waiting to greet Doria Ragland following her transatlantic journey. While a Fijian-born corporal who was made William and Kate's first orderly following their wedding has been working hard in the background fulfilling the flurry of crucial roles including logistics, driving and organisation. Miss Pickerill, who grew up in Walton-on-Thames, Surrey, is said to be supporting Meghan on engagements and with her official work as part of her role while the former parachute regiment corporal is constantly on hand to solve any problems that arise during the hectic final few days before Harry and Meghan say "I do." Her Majesty appeared to be in high spirits today, with her smiling not leaving her face once during proceedings, despite claims she was furious with Meghan's father over the fake photos row. Prince Charles and his wife Camilla visited Google Arts and Culture projects which are designed to share art, history and heritage across the world. The pair were also set to meet vloggers, fashion designers and tech-savvy schoolgirls at the York's Net-a-Porter Group offices in West London during the whirlwind visit. Doria is expected to meet the senior royals ahead of her daughter's big day on Saturday. She will stay with the bride at Cliveden House the night before the nuptials, and then travelling with her to St George's Chapel in Windsor Castle on the day. The five-star mansion, near the village of Teplow on the border of Buckinghamshire and Berkshire, is roughly 15 minutes away by car to the wedding venue. It has been chosen for its secluded location and privacy. After Doria got off the plane, she was driven to the VIP Windsor suite, where Miss Pickerill was waiting with an immigration officer. The officer reportedly took one look at Meghan's mother before stamping her passport and letting her go. Miss Pickerill was seen getting into the Jaguar and driving away with Doria. Prince Harry and Meghan will see Doria first before she meets the rest of the royal brood. She is expected to meet Queen, Prince Philip, Prince Charles and Camilla and Prince William and his wife Kate before the big day. Prince Harry's aides were seen collecting her baggage, including her Burberry wedding outfit after she landed. Doria was picked up by a Jaguar, which is part of the royal fleet, at the steps of the aircraft, and taken to the private Windsor suite. Prince Harry and Meghan will see Doria first before she meets the rest of the royal brood, including Prince William and Kate. Miss Pickerill handled Doria's arrival seemingly seamlessly. She was hand-picked by Prince Harry for the role of Meghan's girl Friday. The 32-year-old is an assistant private secretary, based in Prince Harry's office, and it's speculated she will be promoted to be Meghan's private secretary after the royal wedding in May. Miss Pickerill grew up on Walton-on-Thames, Surrey, with twin brother Ashley, and is said to be supporting Meghan on engagements and with her official work as part of her role. Also a part of the team handling Doria's arrival was a Fijian-born corporal from the parachute regiment. In January 2013 it was reported by the Daily Mail that he was the first orderly employed by the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge. His role involves chauffeuring, logistics and even organising Prince William's wardrobe. The Daily Mail was asked not to name him. For travellers weary from the hustle and bustle of flying economy, the idea of flying first class alone may seem like a distant dream. But for the elite few, an ultra-luxurious experience awaits them when they touch down in London. Aptly dubbed the Windsor Suite, the opulent VIP service and private lounge at Heathrow Airport, which Meghan Markle's mother Doria today experienced, has welcomed popes, presidents, royalty and religious leaders into a lap of luxury. "If you're supposed to be here, you won't need directions," said Anita Newcourt, referring to the deliberate lack of signage. The lounge's manager told the Financial Times in 2011, "We want to stay." The airport's best-kept secret. Adorned with sculptures, bonsai trees and white leather sofas, the Windsor Suite could not seem further away from the madness of the average airport waiting area. Before 2011 the suite was reserved for a select few whose names were on a list maintained by the Foreign and Commonwealth Office, meaning no amount of money of game could grant even the most A-list celebrity access. Now, it has opened its doors to the wealthy, and the prices are eye-watering to say the least. The Windsor Suite's black service starts at £2,750 plus VAT, £3,300, 4 up to 3 people for an arriving flight as well as those on flights connecting within 3 hours. According to the official brochure, wealthy travelers arriving at the airport can expect staff to meet you from your aircraft, either on the air bridge or at the foot of the aircraft steps. Staff to take your baggage tags and drive you to your VIP suite by private luxury chauffeur-driven car while a baggage team arranges the collection of your bags. To be shown to your own private lounge where you can relax with refreshments. To have your passport and other documents handed to immigration officials. You are present but do not need to take an active part unless they require more information or additional checks to be able to leave the airport and continue your journey after the formalities of customs and immigration are over. To have your chauffeur vehicle take you to any address in the UK, applicable for black service. Heathrow VIP's website says, Heathrow VIP provides you with the perfect airport experience. A private and personal service like no other. We offer a luxurious and exclusive transition through Heathrow. We understand every journey is unique, and our team is committed to ensuring your experience is seamless and memorable. It adds that while paparazzi are not allowed in the secure area of the suites, we cannot guarantee long-distance photographs will not be taken. Should we be aware of paparazzi at the airport or surrounding areas, the airport team will request they cease and move on. A royal aide at the time said, "I have to say he is a lovely guy, like all army, a superb can-do attitude and great sense of humor." Despite the international attention focused on her trip, however, Doria cut a laid-back figure as she made her way out of her Los Angeles home, carrying a Burberry garment bag, which likely contained an outfit she will wear during the wedding celebrations this weekend. And should that indeed end up being her chosen designer for the main event, it will be a fitting option. Not only is Burberry a British brand, it is also one that Doria has shown herself to be a fan of in the past. The mother of the bride opted for a Burberry design when she made her first public outing with Meghan and Prince Harry, at the closing ceremony of the Invictus Games in Canada in September 2017. Meghan's mother arrived at LAX's brand new private suite, used by the rich and famous, which provides ultimate privacy and luxury facilities, at a cost of thousands of pounds. Doria has been keeping a low profile over recent weeks. In the run-up to Saturday's nuptials, and has been photographed out and about near her home in Los Angeles. Prince Charles, who walked family friend Alexandra Knatchbull down the aisle at her wedding in 2016, should be the one to replace Thomas Markle, according to royal fans. As Thomas Markle's attendance at the royal wedding looks increasingly unlikely, royal fans have taken to Twitter to call for Prince Charles to step in. The retired lighting director, 73, is reportedly undergoing heart surgery today after a dramatic week which saw him pull out of proceedings due to a staged photo scandal, before yesterday insisting he wanted to come and be part of history. Now royal watchers have insisted that the future king is the perfect replacement, and taking on the role would be a sign of acceptance and unity for Charles to do the honors. Others suggested it would be an equally nice moment for Charles as he has no daughters of his own. The royal is no stranger to stepping into the father of the bride's shoes after giving away family friend Alexandra Knatchbull at her wedding to Thomas Hooper in 2016, as her own father looked on. At the time, some speculated that Lord Brabourne, a close friend to Prince Charles and the royal family and the grandson of Earl Mountbatten, was in poor health. Others suspected strained relations between Alexandra, goddaughter of Princess Diana, and her father could go some way towards explaining why a bride from one of Britain's most established families chose to break with tradition. In 2010 Norton Knatchbull, The 8th Baron Brabourne, abandoned his 31-year marriage to run away to Nassau in the Bahamas with fashion designer Jeannie Nuttall. When this relationship ended in 2014 and he returned to the historic estate where Noel Coward played the piano at weekend house parties. When the Queen and Prince Philip were staying, he was banished from the house to live in a converted barn. A family friend said, "It's very unusual to be given away by someone else at your wedding, even if it's the Prince of Wales." At the time Alexandra was absolutely furious with her father for leaving her mother, but of course she still wanted him at the wedding. This week has seen countless twists and turns surrounding whether Mr. Markle would attend Saturday's royal wedding at Windsor Castle in Berkshire after the Mail on Sunday revealed he had staged paparazzi photos for money. The royal did the honours at Alexandra's wedding in 2016, while her father looked on, left. Meghan, 36, pictured in a wedding dress for her on-screen wedding in Suits, right? He pulled out on Monday, saying he didn't want to further embarrass his daughter, but it seemed that Meghan had managed to persuade her father to change his mind. Yesterday it seemed he had backtracked on his decision after the bride-to-be pleaded with him to come to England for the big day. "I hate the idea of missing one of the greatest moments in history and walking my daughter down the aisle," Mr. Markle said. "Of course I'd walk her down the aisle. This is a historic moment. I'd like to be a part of history." However, his attendance is once again in doubt amid claims he will undergo surgery today. He said that doctors will go in and clear blockage, repair damage, and put a stent where it is needed during the operation, which will take place at 3:30 p.m. UK time. The yoga instructor and social worker has been described by Meghan as a free-spirited clinical therapist, and she has been seen alongside Meghan at a number of public events. Prince Harry, who has described her as amazing, flew Dory out to Toronto to join Meghan and himself at the Invictus Games last year. Royal experts said at the time that Harry's decision to invite Meghan's mum to join them at the closing ceremony of his Invictus Games was hugely significant. Doria was already expected to have an important role during the ceremony. It is thought she will ride with Meghan in the car to the chapel in Windsor Castle. On the go, the 61-year-old yoga instructor and social worker got picked up at her California home as she made her way to LAX on Tuesday. The former yoga instructor and social worker is expected to see Meghan and Prince Harry first, before meeting the Queen, pictured today, and other senior royals for the first time. Doria, left with her daughter, has been keeping a low profile ahead of Prince Harry and Meghan's wedding. The couple, pictured right, 0, maids of honor, all the bridesmaids will be children. 1. Best man, Harry's brother, the Duke of Cambridge. 1 hour, the length of the wedding ceremony. 2. Diamonds from Diana, Princess of Wales's collection used for Meghan's engagement ring, +1 from Botswana. 3. Diana's siblings at the service. 6. Harry's position in line to the throne. 6. Windsor grey horses taking part in the carriage ride. 7. Charities Harry and Meghan picked to receive public donations instead of wedding gifts. 16. The wedding will be the 16th royal wedding or blessing to take place in St. George's Chapel since 1863. 200. Guests invited to the Frogmore House evening reception. 600. Congregation in St. George's Chapel. 2,640. People specially invited into the grounds of the castle. 5,000. UK and international media accredited in Windsor. 100,000. Estimated number of visitors in Windsor on the day. Thomas Markle, 73, revealed that he is having major heart surgery today, coming just hours after it appeared Meghan had convinced her father to change his mind and attend the nuptials, when he announced he wouldn't be coming on Monday. He said he didn't want to embarrass his daughter any further after the Mail on Sunday revealed he had staged paparazzi shots for money. Before again changing his mind, Thomas said he believed his ex-wife Doria would be a good choice to give their daughter away. Doria is the clear favourite to walk her down the aisle. If Thomas is not cleared by doctors to fly. Prince Charles is 2-1 with the bookies to step in while Prince William is 5-1. To take Meghan into St George's before starting his duties as Harry's best man. There have also been a flurry of bets on Meghan walking down the aisle alone. Doria made her way to LAX just one day after it was reported that she quit her job at a mental health clinic. According to Us Weekly, the 61-year-old social worker. She left her role at the Los Angeles clinic she had been working at to pursue her goal of starting her own private practice following her daughter's nuptials. Doria is no longer working at the mental health clinic in the Los Angeles area. It was Doria's decision to leave, a source told the outlet. She has talked about starting her own private practice, focusing on working with elderly patients. The reports about Doria's decision to quit her job come just 1 week after it was revealed that she had met with TV legend Oprah Winfrey at her $88 million Los Angeles home in order to discuss ideas for a tell-all interview. According to the Mirror Online, the duo spent 6 hours together going over potential topics that could be covered during a sit-down, with a source saying that they focused particularly on race and the role that it has played in Harry and Meghan's relationship. Oprah and Doria spent a long time chatting and they got on really well, the source said. The most important and significant issue they spoke about was race and how badly some people had reacted to Meghan and Harry. What happened to Meghan and Harry was disgusting and they and all of their families were horrified. It's an issue close to both Doria and Oprah, who have both suffered racism. However, the interview reportedly needs to be approved by Meghan, Harry, and Buckingham Palace before it is recorded. Growing up, Meghan lived with her mother in a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment in the Mid-Wilshire area of Los Angeles. The Suits star's mother, Doria, and her father, Thomas, divorced when she was 6 years old. Meghan's father, Thomas Markle, has once again pulled out of his daughter's big day, revealing that he needs to have major heart surgery this morning. Meghan Markle's family members Tracy and Tyler Dooley leave their hotel in Waterloo, central London, ahead of Meghan Markle's marriage to Prince Harry, although they thought to be invited to the big day extended family. Meghan's nephews Tyler and Thomas Dooley and their mother, Tracy Dooley, pictured together right, are in London for the wedding, but they aren't thought to be attending the ceremony. Harry and Meghan's very modern wedding couple break with royal tradition to choose their friends' children to be bridesmaids and page boys alongside Prince George and Princess Charlotte by Mark Deuel for Mail Online. Most of the bridesmaids and page boys at the royal wedding of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle will be their best friends' children, it was revealed today. The wedding at Windsor Castle will have an unconventional feel after the couple looked outside of the royal family for the 10 boys and girls to take part. Just 2 of the youngsters involved in the wedding party are royals. Harry's niece, Princess Charlotte, 3, and his nephew, 4-year-old Prince George. The 3 children of Meghan's best friend Jessica Mulroney, twins Brian and John, 7. and daughter Ivy, 4, will also walk down the aisle on Saturday. Their father is Ben Mulroney, the son of former Canadian Prime Minister Brian Mulroney. The bridesmaids for the service at St. George's Chapel in the castle grounds include Harry's goddaughters, Zali Warren, 2, and Florence Van Cutsum, 3. Prince George and Princess Charlotte, pictured on the way to meet their new baby brother who was named Prince Louis, at St. Mary's Hospital in Paddington, London, on April 27. The 3 children of Meghan's best friend Jessica Mulroney, twins Brian and John, 7, and daughter Ivy, 4, are pictured with their mother arriving at London Heathrow Airport today. Also involved are 36-year-old Meghan's goddaughters, sisters Remy and Rylan Litt, aged 6 and 7 respectively, and 4-year-old Ivy Mulroney. The other page boys are 33-year-old Harry's godson, Jasper Dyer, aged 6, and 7-year-old twin brothers Brian and John Mulroney. Florence's cousin Grace Van Cutsum famously stole the show in 2011 at William and Kate's wedding when she covered her ears on the Buckingham Palace balcony. Kensington Palace announced this morning that Harry's niece and nephew would be among Meghan's young helpers at the nuptials in Windsor this weekend. His younger son is at the centre of a drama with his future in-laws as drama over Thomas Markle's wedding attendance rumbles on. But it was business as usual today for Prince Charles and his wife Camilla as the smiling pair visited Google Arts and Culture projects, which are designed to share art, history and heritage across the world. Camilla looked chic in a pink suit, teamed with two-tone Chanel shoes and was all smiles as she arrived at the event. The pair were also set to meet vloggers, fashion designers and tech-savvy schoolgirls at the York's Net-a-Porter Group offices in West London during the whirlwind visit. They will also be introduced to prominent YouTube stars and take part in a discussion with members of youth charities about violent crime and social media. The Duchess of Cornwall looked cheerful today as she arrived at the YouTube space in London's King's Cross to learn more about Google Arts and Culture projects. Prince Charles looked to be in great spirits as he shrugged off royal wedding woes the royal had a chance to look through a virtual viewer during a visit the YouTube space in London. Charles is no stranger to social media, with the @Clarence House Twitter account having nearly 760,000 followers, while its Instagram account has almost 300,000. The royal family YouTube channel has garnered over 75 million video views since it was established in 2007. The royal couple will then to a new tech hub created by the York's Net-a-Porter Group, one of the world's biggest online fashion retailers. The new tech hub in White City was opened a year ago and features artificial intelligence capabilities, such as personalization and image recognition. The Duchess was presented with a gift by Alison Loanes, president of Net-a-Porter, and Mr. Porter the royal chatted to school children during a hackathon at the Yorks Net-a-Porter Tech Hub at White City Place. They will also meet 65 local schoolgirls who are learning to code in partnership with Imperial College London. Last on the tour is a trip to the newly opened White City outpost of Members Club, Soho House. Here, Charles and Camilla will attend a reception hosted by the British Fashion Council, showcasing new British talent in sustainable fashion, textiles and design industries. Among the 100 invited guests are Vogue editor-in-chief, Edward Enninful, chair of menswear for their British Fashion Council, Dylan Jones, and editor-in-chief of Harper's Bazaar UK, Justine Picardi. Charles is a long-time supporter of sustainable fashion, founding the Campaign for Wool in 2010, to encourage ecologically responsible fashion which prioritizes natural fibers and has a low carbon footprint. These are Charles and Camilla's penultimate public engagements before the wedding of Charles' son Harry and Meghan Markle in Windsor on Saturday. Remy, 6 and Rylan Litt, 7, left, will be among the 6 bridesmaids at this Saturday's wedding. 6-year-old Jasper Dyer, pictured with his father Mark Dyer, right, will be a page boy at the wedding. Meghan is godmother to her friend Benita Litt's 2 daughters Remy, 6 and Rylan, 7, and she is thought to have spent Christmas with the family in 2016. Pictured Charlotte and George are already skilled in the role, having performed the duty for the Duchess of Cambridge's sister, Pippa Matthews, last year. Harry has paid tribute to former mentor and close friend Mark Dyer by requesting his son Jasper as a page boy. Meanwhile, Meghan has publicly recognized one of her best friends, stylist Mrs. Mulroney, by choosing her twin sons to take part in the wedding. Mr. Dyer, a redhead like the prince, was a supportive big brother figure for Harry during the 1990s and early 2000s. It was during that period that the teenager was coming to terms with the death of his mother Diana, Princess of Wales, in Paris in 1997. Mrs. Mulroney and her family were seen arriving at London Heathrow Airport today. Zali Warren is the daughter of Jake Warren, son of the Queen's bloodstock and racing advisor John Warren, and his wife Zoe. We'll have to wait and see. Meghan Markle's nephew says family still hope her father can make royal wedding despite him saying he will undergo major heart surgery later today by Sarah White and Mark Dewell and Cheyenne Roundtree and Alex Robertson for Mail Online and Rebecca English for the Daily Mail. The nephew of Meghan Markle has said his family are still hopeful that her father can make the royal wedding despite him saying he will undergo major heart surgery today. Tyler Dooley refused to rule out that Thomas Markle would fly to the UK before the big day in Windsor on Saturday. He told Mail Online, "We all hope that he'll make it. But we'll just have to wait and see." When asked if he was excited about the royal wedding, he said, "I'm excited, yeah." Thomas, 73, who lives in Mexico, revealed that doctors will go in and clear blockage, repair damage, and put a stent where it is needed during the operation, which will take place at 3:30 p.m. UK time, 7:30 p.m. local time. Tyler Dooley, pictured in London, refused to rule out that Thomas Markle, right, in Mexico, would fly to the UK before the big day in Windsor on Saturday. "She's not going to tell me I can't speak about my life." Meghan's half-sister faces backlash after launching an astonishing attack on royal bride-to-be by Ed Riley for Mail Online. Royal fans have hit out at Meghan Markle's half-sister after she launched a stinging attack on the bride-to-be, saying that she has no right to try and censor her. Samantha Markle has given a bombshell interview to US media where she insisted she had freedom of speech and has every right to speak out. The mother of 3, who has given a series of meddling media interviews in recent weeks, laid into Meghan amid claims she's upset about her airing her views. She tore into the future princess just days after wading into the fake paparazzi row when her father staged fake paparazzi shots for money. Samantha Markle has given a bombshell interview to US media where she insisted she had freedom of speech in the explosive rant. The 53-year-old said, "She's not going to tell me that I can't speak about my life," and she fumed, "I'm not going to take it. She's way out of her league to tell me that I can't speak." After the astonishing clip emerged, royal well-wishers blasted the 53-year-old, telling her, "Their world can't wait for you to go away." The verbal attack came as Meghan's mother Doria touched down in the UK for an emotional reunion with her daughter as she prepares to meet the royal family for the first time, and preparations continued in Windsor for the big day on Saturday. Meanwhile, Meghan's father Thomas Markle, who appeared to confirm today that he wasn't coming to the wedding, prepared to have a heart operation at 3:30 p.m. UK time. Royal fans swerve Windsor tent ban by camping in sleeping bags in the street as wedding fever ramps up with just 3 days to go until the big day by Mark Duel for Mail Online. With just 3 days to go until the wedding of the year, anticipation is mounting around the world. But it would be tough to find anyone more dedicated than these 4 royal fans who are already sleeping out overnight in Windsor ahead of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's marriage on Saturday. The fans, who are kitted out in Union Jack flags and clothing bearing the couple's faces, have set up camp behind the barriers on the route that the royal procession will take through the Berkshire town. Thames Valley Police are enforcing a no-tent rule in the run-up to the big day for security reasons, forcing people to sleep in the open air or on fold-up chairs, with some using sleeping bags on the pavement. These royal fans are already sleeping overnight in Windsor ahead of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's wedding on Saturday. The fans have set up camp behind the barriers on the route that the royal procession will take through the Berkshire town. The fans are kitted out in Union Jack flags and clothing bearing the couple's faces. Ahead of the big day on Saturday, Thames Valley Police are enforcing a no-tent rule in the run-up to the wedding on Saturday for security reasons. Royalists are now a major fixture at wedding and funerals, with hundreds trying to bag key spots along procession routes days in advance, but some have criticized the ban on camping as really sad. Carl Martin, 33, a royal fan from Felixstowe, Suffolk, said he received an email from the council telling him that camping will not be allowed, but folding chairs and some form of cover will be allowed. It comes after police were seen clearing away sleeping bags and other possessions belonging to homeless people ahead of the royal wedding. Windsor Council leader Simon Dudley had called for homeless people to be removed from the streets because they would show the borough in an unfavourable light. The bishop uncle, an outspoken half-sister and a cannabis farmer nephew, how Meghan Markle's estranged family have turned the royal wedding into a very colourful affair. By Ed Riley for Mail Online. Meghan Markle's family have done their best to steal the spotlight off the royal bride-to-be ahead of her wedding to Prince Harry this weekend. Never far from controversy, the extended Markle clan have hit the headlines over their past few months, using their newfound fame to exploit the family name. The future princess family are a mix of colourful characters that include a reformed alcoholic, a bishop, and even a cannabis farmer. Some have even started arriving in the UK ahead of the nuptials this Saturday. as they prepare to give a round of media interviews about the marriage. Here we look at some of Prince Harry's future in-laws that will soon be forever linked with the royal family. Tracy Dooley, 52, the recovering alcoholic, who sells advertising, was once married to Meghan's half-brother, Thomas Markle Jr. She was pictured arriving at Heathrow with her sons Tyler and Thomas, and are in the UK to conduct a round of interviews, even though she hasn't seen Meghan for around 20 years. She is documenting her stay in London on a Facebook page, Royal Wedding with Their Dooley Markles, where she has uploaded a selection of pictures of famous landmarks. The recovering alcoholic, left and right, with her son Tyler, sells advertising and was once married to Meghan's half-brother, Thomas Markle Jr. The Dooleys arriving at London's Heathrow. From left to right, Tyler, his girlfriend Sandra Bazan, Tracy, and far right Thomas Tyler Dooley, 25. Tracy's son Tyler is developing a strain of cannabis called Markles Sparkle in the U.S. state of Oregon, known for its relaxed drug laws. He considers himself a pioneer in the legal production of the drug in California. He claims to have last spoken to Meghan 3 years ago, and remembers her babysitting them when they were younger. Tracy's son Tyler is developing a strain of cannabis called Markles Sparkle in the U.S. state of Oregon, known for its relaxed drug laws. Thomas Markle Jr., 50, Meghan's half-brother Mr. Markle Jr., Meghan's estranged half-brother, works as a jobbing glass fitter in Grants Pass, Oregon, and along with his girlfriend Darlene Blunt, 37, spent time in prison recently. She allegedly assaulted her boyfriend on New Year's Day, and a year earlier he allegedly held a gun to her head. Both charges were dropped. He wrote a letter to Prince Harry describing Meghan as a jaded, shallow, conceited woman that will make a joke of you and the royal family heritage. Thomas Jr. then grew up in the same household as his father, sister Samantha, stepmother Doria and half-sister Meghan. Thomas Markle Jr., pictured, works as a jobbing glass fitter in Grants Pass, Oregon. Rosalind Markle, 71, Meghan's stepmother, was once married to Meghan's father. She is the mother of Meghan's two half-siblings, Thomas Markle Jr. and Samantha Grant. Thomas Markle, 73, Meghan's father, was a workaholic who already had 2 children from his first marriage to Roseanne Loveless when he met Doria, Meghan's mother. He worked in show business, winning awards for lighting direction, and won £560,000 on the lottery, which allowed Meghan to be privately educated. But he split with his wife and left LA for Mexico after declaring himself bankrupt with credit card debts of £24,180. He now lives as a recluse in Rosarito in Mexico. Samantha Markle, 53, Meghan's half-sister, admits she hasn't spoken to Meghan in almost a decade, but plans to release a book called The Diary of Princess Pushy's Sister. She has launched a number of verbal attacks at Meghan. and hit out when she wasn't invited. She hasn't seen her half-sister for 10 years. Samantha, a writer and counselor who is based in Florida and sometimes uses the surname Grant, was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis in 2008. Samantha, a writer and counselor who is based in Florida, was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis in 2008. Meghan's teenage niece Noel Rasmussen, 19, is estranged from her mother. Samantha Noel Rasmussen, 19, Meghan's teenage niece, is estranged from her mother Samantha, and lives with her grandmother Rosalind Markle, Thomas's first wife, in Albuquerque, New Mexico. She has defended Meghan from attacks by her own mother, saying she has spent years telling her how much she hates the future princess. She wanted to be nice, to say how much she loves her sister, but after years of telling me and the rest of the family how much she hates Meghan and what a horrible woman Meghan is, which isn't true. Michael Markle, 78, Meghan's uncle, retired diplomat Michael Markle, worked for the U.S. Air Force and lives in Florida, and is Thomas Markle's brother. During his career he worked in Ottawa, Bucharest, Berlin, and Guam, and used his connections to help Meghan get a job at the U.S. Embassy in Buenos Aires, Argentina. Frederick Markle, Thomas Markle's other brother Fred, is a bishop. He is the leader at the Eastern Orthodox Catholic Church in there. U.S., in Florida, where he goes under the name Bishop Dismas. He is said to be a recluse and is rarely seen outside of the church, which used to have a congregation of around 40, but is now only attended by the bishop himself.